All right, so we'll let your video play through here 2 times like we always do. First time will be all one motion, so you can see how you're looking in our updated video here. And the second time, we will pause it at that moment of foot strike so you can check your body's positioning there. And then we will throw each view point up side by side with the old video, so that way we can more easily see the progression we are making. And then obviously new is on left, old is on the right. And there they are paused at foot strike. Obviously, big time what we can see is that front leg has done a much better job getting itself into a good, strong, straight position. We can also peer back on that back foot and just see how much more that's rotated than our old video. The only thing now is with this good extra rotation of the lower body, we got to make sure that the upper body doesn't start to rotate with it. So if we could have our new lower body get sent over and put underneath our old upper body, we would have a primo pitching delivery position right now. So now that the lower body is getting itself cleaned up, and what we're going to notice as well is that the arm path is getting cleaned up as well, we'll be able to shift some of our brain power and our focus and our attention to keeping this upper body from rotating. And we'll be able to see the arm path in the side view a lot easier. So right out the gate, that ball is facing a better position, right? When the ball comes out of our glove, we want that wrist nice and straight and ball facing more towards first base. We can see in the old one with this bent wrist with the ball facing home plate. So boom, real good adjustment there. Another adjustment we haven't mentioned yet was allowing the glove to travel. And it doesn't travel a whole bunch, but is it traveling a lot more than it ever did? Heck yeah. So good adjustment there as well. And now we look at the arm and we can see how it's not going all the way out in this big loop. It's a lot more flipping up. So great job with that adjustment. The one thing we're going to do to help this arm path take that next level to getting even stronger is that we want to think, if I was going to load up to try to punch someone, I would want, when my arm gets back here, I would want to get my elbow to get loaded up into my back. I'd want to pull my elbow back behind me like I'm pinching that shoulder blade as much as I can. Right? Because then that arm is locked and loaded. So now that we're getting the arm to flip up better, we're just going to load it back more. And if I got a video to quickly help you see that, let's get one from the front. And let's look for one that's going to be... Yeah. Okay, let's do this. It's a minor leaguer, but a top minor league arm. And just notice at, boom, his foot strike, how his arm is behind his head almost. That's because his elbow, notice how it's coming back. Boom, that elbow. Boom, that elbow is bringing that arm back. And then when the hand flips up, that brings the arm up. So we've gotten your arm flip bam, 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 to clean up big time. Now we just need to load it up, which means load it back to create more power. Let's find another guy from the front here. Okay, Hunter Green. He's in the big leagues, and he's a 100+ mile an hour guy. So we can see that same thing, how that arm's down, and then as it's going up, the elbow's also going back behind him. It's to the side of him, and now that elbow's getting back behind him. So that way, when the arm flips up, it's still slightly behind his body. We can also see what's really good here is where that glove's finishing. That's in a great spot too. So a lot of good things that we're seeing here, bud. Great job. Keep up the good work on that. And what we'll be working on going forward is just going to be learning how to load that arm up to a more powerful position and just to continue to get more and more comfortable and more confidence with what we're doing. But with everything we're seeing, we should be very happy, very excited, and coming next week with a lot of, or when I get to see you in pitching next, with a lot of confidence that we're on the right path to do a lot of good things. And we can just see how we never really quite get to see an elbow in your arm path here. So that's like what we're talking about, is just loading that arm back a little bit as we do the path it's doing. Sweet. Real good. Now we just got to load it up so that way we get strong, explosive potential with this good arm path. All right, so we will play your video 2 times through here so you can see what we look like in this updated video. Second time we play it through, we'll pause it at foot strike so we can just check that posture there that we've been learning about. And then we will throw both the old and the new videos up with the front views and the side views so we can compare and contrast how we look. So obviously left side's old, right side is new. So the first thing we can notice is just height of leg lift, much higher. So that's the first good positive change we see. Let's continue. We can see the amount of bend in this back leg in our new one. So we definitely have gotten lower. So we have made the adjustment there, which helps us drive out more energy and power with the throw because of that lower positioning. We can even just see it on your face, how much more power is coming through, how much more energy is getting driven with that throw over here versus over here. And then here's our side view comparison. So we can see the difference in that leg lift height, real good. We can see how the body wants to get into this strong angle versus just standing tall. And then the difference in that foot strike positioning of just the extra length we've created is only going to help us create more power. Now, the only thing I want us to shift our focus to going forward is, let's just notice how from this moment on, our back knee is going to kind of buckle towards third, and our backside is going to kind of dip down, dip down, dip down. And if we watch that back foot, back heel, it's even going to get lifted up off the ground because of how much that knee is going towards third. It's lifting that foot off the ground. And then we look and see that the knee, let me get this out. We look at the knee and you can see if we drew a straight line down, and then we draw the line at the end of the toes, so we can say our knee is over our toes right now, which is loading a lot of our quadricep muscles. We want to load a lot of our butt muscles, our glute muscles. So therefore, we need to think about our knee staying above our foot as we bend back here, rather than us achieving this deeper bend by pushing the knee out. And if I just showed a quick example to help you better visualize that, like thinking of one person in particular that should help us see this the best. ABC. R-E. Uh-oh. Oh, that's because I'm in side view. I want front view. Reggie Crawford throws 100 miles an hour out of high school, or I'm sorry, out of college rather. And just notice how he's getting down, that knee is staying above that toe. This isn't as good of a clip as I thought it was going to be to see that because the leg's in the way there. Let's get someone else. Boom. Notice how that knee is never really getting on the other side of those toes. Not the most clean video quality, but we can just see how that body's weight is more tall right there versus, I mean, we're still in that good tall position. It's just that knee is way over here versus being more in line. Oops, that wasn't the straightest line with a toe. But that's really splitting hairs, right? What have you been working on? Getting lower. Are you lower? Hell yeah. Real good job, dude. And what we're going to notice to drive home the point about the knee is just watch where the knee is going to eventually want to get to. It's going to want to get to over here. See how it's rotating? It's over here. It's rotating in line with that toe. In line with the toe, in line with the toe, in line with the toe, in line with the toe. So we can just see how it's getting sent over there at that moment in time. And now it stays straight from there. So if we just got rid of that buckle, that if we got rid of that, that'd clean up our problem. No problem. That would clean up our problem easy. It would be no problem to fix that problem. So now we just got to get rid of that hump, and still find a way to get that ourselves down and loaded, because now we were looking like a pitcher. Before, we were just some dude that was up there trying to throw the ball. Now we really do look like a guy that's like, oh man, they got a guy on the mound today. So, real good job, dude. Keep up the good work. All right, so here's our updated video from the other night. We'll let it play 2 times through like we usually do. First time, all one motion, so you can see what you look like here. And you can watch this clip as many times as you want. Second time, we'll be pausing it at foot strike. So that way we can point out a couple things. All right, first thing we're going to notice is the front leg is under rotated, has not nearly rotated as much as it needs to. And it's going to be easy to see the difference when we show the old video where this front leg is exactly how we want it versus where it's at currently. So if we rewind that and just watch how little rotation that front leg's doing before it's in the ground, we'll be able to see that again when we throw it up side by side with the old video. But if we look at the side view here, we are definitely closer to our 90 degree in the armpit. So all the work we've done with this arm is showing improvements. We could still get a little bit more up. So we're definitely trending in the right direction. So the drills that we're doing are paying off. We just need to spend a little bit more time working with them to fill in the last bit of this muscle memory. Again, that'll be easier to see when we throw the side views up and compare them. So obviously on the left is old, on the right is new. We'll pause both at foot strike so we can see the differences in those front legs. In the old video on the left, just how much better that front leg is rotated towards the target. Not quite sure how or why that part of the delivery has gone in a different direction than it has been, especially since we haven't really been doing anything with that front leg with you. So definitely something that you're going to need to ask yourself why, when we first started, before we started working on anything, that front leg was really, really good, and now why all of a sudden it's not. But that's what we noticed from the front view, so easy to see it when compared to the old. And then we'll take our side views. So again, on the left is old, on the right is new. And this will help us be able to see the differences in the arm. You can see definitely lower here than we are here. But we can still see that we could get it up even more. Okay, so the last point we're going to make is, because that front leg did not get fully rotated by the time we got into foot strike, that's why our body isn't able to rotate around as well, and it really falls forward on this delivery here. If we were able to rotate it around, we'd be able to finish it around. But because we didn't rotate that front leg around, it's hard for everything to rotate around, and it's a lot easier for it just to fall forward like it did there. So arm path has definitely gotten improved. We just need to improve it some more, and then we just got to check ourselves on this front leg and figure out why it's doing something different than it had been before, when what it was doing before was exactly what we were looking for it to be doing. So all in all, progressions are going in the way we want them to be going. So good work, and let's keep it up.